All right, test 1, 2 with the music on. All right, test 1, 2 with the music on. Bennett Holloway asking a pretty funny question. Let's see. Bennett, let's see. I have an echo, so I'm trying to see where you're coming from, Mr. Echo. Boom, found you. All right. Bennett, who are you wearing this morning? I am wearing Old Navy, and I've got some Lulu shorts I've had for probably like 30 years. It seems like I've had them forever. Probably ever since you were working with me. But yeah, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I would love to know where you're watching from, how you're doing, how in the world you got here. Bennett, how are you today? I know you're on here. There's about 8 others. Y'all come on in. I want to update you guys on so many things. And I want to talk about ways that we numb out in life, because, man, we all do. Any issues with the sound? How's the sound out there? I love my people who let me know how it's sounding. So everything sound good out there to everybody? Yeah. All right. Well, let me see here. Hey. All right. Bennett, thanks for that question. Thanks for that question. Love getting to see you. Let's see, Bennett. I'm doing well, brother. Love getting to see you. Sound is coming great across YouTube. You know what? YouTube, you the man. Um, that's encouraging, dude. We are almost at 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing. I'm gonna show y'all something. But to be monetized, see right here, we're at. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. You can't see it. There's too much happening. Anyways, it says 1,978 subscribers, which is amazing. My goal when I first started was 2,000 or 1,000 by August. But to be monetized on YouTube, you have to have 3,000 watch hours. Okay, and I'm at. I don't know if you can see. You see that blue line? It has to be all the way over to here. You can't see it. Is that going to do anything? No. Okay, it doesn't matter. But you have to have 3,000 watch hours, and I've got 1,113, which is amazing. But I would love it if you guys could share this on YouTube. Those that are watching on Facebook and Instagram, thank you for being here, and would love for you to jump over onto YouTube. So, Bennett, man, thank you. Well, I want to answer some questions that you guys put out there on Instagram yesterday, and I think these will be really good to answer. Also, yesterday, y'all, 2 days ago, I broke my screen, my monitor on. Such a bummer. It was such a bummer. I broke my like screen that I look at everything on, my other screen. Such an idiot. So that's okay. We're going to be okay. But I want to answer some questions. So the first question is, a lot of you had great questions on Instagram. Thank you for doing that. That makes this really fun. I've never done this before. So let's answer. The first question is, and if you have any questions, you can ask them live right now. That would be really fun too. I like that. How do I know God's purpose for my life? And man, that's a great question. How do I know God's purpose for my life? I feel like being uncertain about your purpose is that can just cause all sorts of anxiety and feelings of inadequacy, and just kind of mess you up. But here's what you can here's a way that you can know God's purpose for your life is this. What do you want to do? So anytime I meet with a client. I just got a new client 2 days ago, and just a phenomenal conversation that we've been having. And one of those questions that I ask him is like, if you could do anything right now, what would you do? If you could do anything right now in the world, what would you do? And I ask you that same question. If you could do anything, what would you do? And so what is that? What is that one thing that you're like, man, I would love to do this? And you're like, well, God, sometimes we can get too messed up in it and be like, well, God, is God in that? And we start to overthink it. And we start to just like truly feel like, well, God's not in it. He didn't tell me to do it. La, 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 la. And we're overthinking things. Look, if you are walking with Christ and you are a believer, then whatever it is, the direction that you want to go, and you know that you have been walking with him, and you feel like, man, this is a direction that I want to go, man, just go after it. Are you passionate about it? Do you want to be a part of that? Do you want to do it? Pray about it. Reach out to other people about it. Look at your gifts, and man, what's going to happen is your purpose is going to align with what brings you joy. For example, for me, man, I am doing it right now. I'm doing what I believe God has put me on this planet to do at this certain time in my life. I've started my own business. I'm still getting to tell people about Jesus. I am preaching the word both on live stream, and I'm preaching this weekend at a church. And it brings me joy. Like, there's no doubt this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now in my life. So, man, I hope that answers your question. And if you need any more help with that, man, that's what I do. I help people, who are in job transitions. I've also got a great friend named uh, Kelly, who helps people find jobs and make transitions in their career. So if you need anything, man, let me know. All right. Um, Another question. Got quite a few. Let's see. How can I balance my faith, family, and work life? Okay. How can I balance that? Because this person felt like very out of balance. It felt like, man, they're just juggling multiple roles. They feel like their brain is overwhelmed, and they're doing so many things. And I really appreciate this, and I loved talking to you throughout the. Who is calling me right now? Don't they know I'm live? My goodness. But here's how you can balance it. The first thing that I would encourage you to do, and this is what I talk to a lot of my clients about. The first thing I would do is what's your morning look like? What does your morning look like? Are you prioritizing time with God in the morning? And the reason I say the morning is because I believe that is the best time to win the day is in the morning. And so truly waking up and spending a little bit of time in silence with the Lord. If it's reading a devotional, if you need a devotional, I've written a 90-day Devo. Just let me know. I'd love to send that to you. But have you, so how do you do all this? You juggle your family, your time. I mean, I would get up before anybody else gets up in your family. If you've got young kids, the moment when it's like you're trying to spend alone time and then you start hearing all the kids waking up, you're like, look, you might have to get up a little bit earlier, and you might have to just spend that time with the Lord. So, because that has to be first, that has got to be first is your time with the Lord. And then the next thing is your family. So the way that I would prioritize your life, or I'm not prioritizing your life, but a thing that I would do to make sure that your priorities are in order is God, family, work. God, family, work. So what does that look like? It looks like, man, you've got to spend time with the Lord. You've got to spend time with your family, and then work. If it's work, God, family, or family, God, work, it's all messed up. Does your family, so answer this question also. You're like, man, how do I know if I'm out of balance? Here's how you know you're out of balance is, do the people that you see outside of your home know more about your relationship with the Lord than the people in your home? So what does that mean? That means this, maybe you're a pastor, maybe you're someone who is, you're influencing people for Christ somehow. Well, is that only happening outside of your home? Or are you influencing the people in your home first? Because it's easy. It is easier to live a life as a person who has this, like you're known as this pastor, you're known as this, Christian leader out in the community and outside of the walls of your house. But then you come into your house and you're not really talking about it. You're not leading your kids. You're not leading your spouse. It's incongruent. It doesn't match up. So how do you know if you're out of balance with your faith, your family, and your job? Is everything that should be taking place in your home should be taking place outside, and vice versa. You should not be two different people. And it's easy to do that. It's very easy to do that because you can go out of your house. It's like Sunday morning whenever you get up and go to church, right? Like you walk in and you're like, hey, and everything, you're like, and I'm not saying you do this, but people will walk into church and they'll walk into these places, they'll walk into businesses, they'll walk into these things, and they put on this thing. But then when they come home and they close the door and they sit on their chair, or they sit on their couch, or their whatever it is, they're a completely different person. And whenever I was thinking about this, at your funeral, are your friends going to get up and speak about you and your family never knew that person? Oh, I'm going to say it again. And I know it's like, Michael, why are you talking about funerals? Because it's a really good thought. At your funeral, when your friends get up and speak about you, are they going to talk about somebody that your family never knew? Y'all, if your family doesn't know how much you love Jesus, but everybody else does, that is your sign that you need to balance it out. So what do you need to do? Number one, you need to spend time with the Lord. And if you need help with that, I would love to help you with that. Man, it doesn't have to be this long, overdrawn, where you're reading 27 devotionals and you're doing this stuff and you're checking it off the list. Stop checking things off the list and just live your life for Christ. Just live your life. Get up earlier, spend time with the Lord, take care of yourself, move your body, do something physically active, tell your family you love them, go to work, and then when you come home from work, turn it off. Michael, I can't turn it off. No, you can. You can turn it off, and your family's watching you, and you're teaching your kids and your wife and your husband, you're teaching them that work is more important than the time that you're spending with them at home. I mean, I literally will tell my kids, hey, I work from home, right? I work from home, or sometimes I'll go to coffee shops, but I'll tell them, hey, I've got work to do, or I'm not working. And that is, just so you know, I love what I'm doing because I can actually tell them, they're in the pool, I can go jump in the pool for 30 minutes. I can do those things because I've started my own business and it is awesome. And so, yeah, that's a great question. Great question. Let's find another one. Man, I have so many. And again, thank you for asking questions on Instagram. It is so good to see a lot of you guys. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, I would love it if you came over to YouTube and subscribed. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. I would love to hit that this week if possible. If not, that's okay. Let's see. How can I, here's the last question. We're going to get into ways that we numb out, and I can't wait to talk about it. Another question. How can I improve my self-worth and confidence? How can I improve my self-worth and confidence? Great question. So why do you feel this way? I would ask that question. Like where is this coming from? Where do you see that you don't have much self-worth and confidence? So I would ask you that question. What are some places that you're seeing you're not very confident? And I would love to listen to you talk. You ever do this? Like where you just listen to people talk? Here's what I mean when I say that. Sometimes when you listen to people talk, you'll start hearing negative self-talk and how past failures can just kind of come up. This negative self-talk. And when you're doing that, all you're doing is continuing to tell yourself that you're not worth it, that you're telling your brain you're not very confident, and this negative self-talk. So for example, you're telling a story about whatever, and then you end it with, but it doesn't really matter because, and that negative self-talk just kind of keeps happening. Do you notice that about yourself, to where you're kind of like, man, if I did this, I want to do this, but then here's what it's like. It's like you're allowing your butt to lead you. What does that mean? You're allowing your butt to lead you. It's you're saying, but I'm not qualified, but I don't have enough money, but if I do this, then this, but I've tried it. Man, we are being led by our butt. And that's just a weird, that's just a weird deal, is being led by your butt. And so I want to encourage you to not be led by your butt, but be led by the Lord. Be led by the Lord. We have Wendy Kerr saying, I do now. And I have a feeling you're talking about, you do now understand what it's like when you have the negative self-talk and you're not doing that anymore, which I absolutely love. So stop being led by your butt, and you're going to see what, if you just jumped on and you heard that, you're like, what is he talking about being led by your butt? It's sometimes we are so led by our negative self-talk, and we're so led by the thoughts that we can't do anything, that we end up never doing anything. And And then we're just like a lot of other people who are in graveyards who never went for it because they were so led by their butts that they felt like, but I can't do it, but I got to do this, but I'm comfortable, but I'm this. So, and I get it. I understand being led by my butt. I almost was led by my butt and stayed my butt in our butt in Tennessee. We now, if I don't know when you're watching this, if you're watching this live or the replay, we now live in Abilene, Texas. And was that hard to move from Tennessee? It was hard to move from comfort. It was hard to move from our amazing house. It was hard to move for all my kids' friends and all the things that we had going on there. Was that hard to do? Yes. And God was in that move. God was saying, you have to go. And if I would have been led by my butt, then we would have our butts still there. And I would be thinking, gosh, what would have happened if we would have moved? And notice what I'm saying right there. I keep saying and I'm not saying but. When you can take and add it to an end of a sentence versus the word but, it changes everything. So whenever you're talking about something, and you're really, let's say, I can't think of an illustration right now. So you're like, I've got to go work out today, but I'm really tired. Okay. You see what just happened there? Or this, I am so proud that I did this certain thing, but blah, 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 blah. Okay. But if you do this, I was so proud of myself for doing this certain thing and I overcame whatever. So when you put the word and versus but, because when you say but after a sentence, you're taking everything that you just did. It's like when somebody does something really nice for you, like, man, I'm so glad that you cleaned out my car, but you missed a spot. Okay. I'm so glad you cleaned out my car. And would you mind cleaning this one spot again? You see the difference there? The same is true with ourselves. When we talk to ourselves and we're the words that we say, they are powerful. And so back to the question, how can I improve my self-worth and confidence? One thing is with your words. The second thing is put in whatever word you want. Like, the Lord needs to be first. I know. You're right. You're right. And you see that? And you see how you're going to start noticing that all the time. And versus but. So you also need to know this. Your self-worth doesn't come from anybody else, what anybody else is saying, how many likes you get, how many views, how many people are applauding you. If you're getting your self-worth from there, then you're going to be really low and your confidence is not going to be very high. But if you're getting your self-worth from the Lord and you're truly relying on him and what he is doing for you and what he has done for you, and you realize that you are a child of God and you're his favorite child of God. Think about that. I heard that yesterday at a Bible study. It was so good to hear this, that I am God's favorite. I mean, that's you're like, well, I'm his favorite. Yeah, you are. He loves you. You are a child of God. You are a child of God. And so, man, if you need help with confidence, you're like, man, Mac, I'm just feeling down. I would love to talk to you and help you build that confidence up. I love encouraging people, because you're probably doing a lot better than you think. You probably are. And when you focus on your strengths, you focus on positive self-talk, you step out in faith and you do things that, man, you really want to do and go for, man, it's going to change everything. I cannot imagine right now me living in Tennessee still when I knew that God was telling me to go, because I could have said no, but how? I can't, we're not going to. Guys, he has taken care of us. He's taken care of us. It's been amazing. And I'll end with this, and then we'll get to the main point of this entire live stream I will end with this, is never look back on your life and say, what if? Never look back on your life and say, what if? There are so many people sitting in graveyards right now who did not live their life to their full potential because they were too nervous and they were led by their butt versus being led by the Lord. Go for it. Go for it. If you need help going for it, man, that's the whole name of my business. Next Step Coach. A lot of times I'm dealing with people in the next step to get them out of isolation, depression, anxiety, and we're taking steps to do that. And I'm helping people take steps to live their dreams. I have a client right now is like, I mean, they are starting over in their life and they're wanting to do some really cool things. And I am able to help them take their best next step. And how am I doing that? It's because I've done it. I'm never going to take you somewhere where I've not done the work myself. I'm just not. The other day I was speaking at this Bible study, and I was talking about, you know, I'm a coach, and I was saying all this stuff, and you know how coaches at times you have those coaches who are yelling at you and they're telling you to run, and they're doing, and it brings me back to basketball, and this coach was super overweight, and he like, you need to run, and I'm sitting there thinking like, bro, when's the last time you ran? Last time you ran, you run into a Dunkin' Donuts. Again, I was in high school, okay, and I didn't say that, but I'm sure I thought it. And we have these coaches that are just like, and then they're not living it out, right? They're just telling you what to do, and they don't live it out. Maybe that's a boss. Maybe that I don't know what that is for you. But with me, the reason I can help you and take your next step, your best next step for you in life, is because I've done the work. Because I've actually done it. I've gone to therapy. I'm not going to ever tell you to go to therapy if you haven't done it. I've got a coach. I'm never going to tell you to get a coach if you haven't done it. I've lost weight by running and trying to be healthy. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you to go to inpatient trauma center, but I've already done it. I'm not going to tell you to truly follow the Lord in what He's asking you to do, even when it's hard. If I haven't done the work myself, I've done the work. Okay. And so I feel like that's an advantage. A lot of times we go to therapists, they're telling us to do all this stuff, and they're telling you how to heal and do this thing, but they've not even done it themselves. That's real life. When you are looking for a therapist, ask them, number one, ask them, who's your therapist? And if they say, I don't have a therapist, you just go ahead and stand up and walk out, because therapists need therapists. Coaches need coaches. Leaders need leaders. So I got way off right there. Anyways, today, the biggest thing I want to talk about is, let's pull it over here. 5 ways that let's pull it up right here. All right. So this is going to be fun. Here are 5 ways. I'm going to say it again. I don't know what just happened. Here are 5 ways that we numb out. And I don't know if you identify with any of these. So the first one is eating. Eating is a way that we numb out. Well, where'd you go? Boom. Eating. We use food to cope with stress, anger, loneliness, boredom, instead of facing those hard emotions. Okay. So this is a way that we numb out, is by food. And I've done really good at this one. This is probably the one that I've done the best at, is with eating, especially when I was in my depression and all the things and really low. Man, food is good, period. And I would use food to numb out and to cope. And it just, that's what I did. And also there could be a lack of eating where you don't eat because of whatever. And so that's one way. And the next is substances. So you use alcohol, weed, drugs, or other mind altering substances to cope and to take off the edge. So ways that we numb out is, I'm just going to go have that one drink, and then you're wasted out of your mind because you wanted to take the edge off. Or you go from that to drugs, you go from that to mind altering substances, whatever those may be, because you just want to numb out. And here in a second, I want to talk about ways that we can not use these substances so that we can actually feel the things that we need to feel. Okay. The third thing is sex. You use man, that one went fast. Let's go back. We're speeding through it. This is from my Instagram, a post I did the other day. So 5 ways to numb out. We just talked about eating. We talked about substances. We talked about sex. So you use sex, or or other, those are words that I can't say on YouTube, or toxic relationships to mask or ignore difficult feelings. So you're feeling low, you're feeling sad, and what do? You turn to these things to help you to be able to cope. And these are the things that I think really more people struggle with this, and they're not willing to say anything about it because of the shame that they feel. And I just want you to know this: shame is not welcome. You don't have to feel shameful for these struggles and these things. And if you do struggle with these things that you know are unhealthy, man, talk to somebody, reach out. There's no judgment here. If you would like to reach out and talk, I would love to talk to you about it. But this is also a way that we numb out. Another thing is screens. So you numb your mind by mindlessly scrolling, binge watching, or vegging out for unhealthy amounts of time as a way to distract yourself from stress. And you may say, Michael, I'm not really doing that. Like I'm just, I'm whatever. And I'm like, no, you're just scrolling because you're addicted, and that makes you feel better so that you can't deal with the things that are coming up in your life. Of these so far, which of these do you guys struggle with? I mean, are you willing to put that on here right now? Which of these are you kind of, do you deal with right now? So screens, and I know for me, man, that's real, and I have to really watch my time on my device, especially when I'm done working. It's easy to get on there and I love social media. It's very fun for me. Actually, I'm running a company's social media right now. It's been pretty fun. So I'm probably going to be running a church's social media here pretty soon. It's what I did for years, but just because I'm doing that doesn't mean I got to sit on my phone and do that all the time. So let's get to another one. Overworking, overdoing. This is what helped me in 2018 to actually burn out. Was I worked so much, I did so much, because it kept my mind. I didn't know I was doing this, but I was working so much that it kept my mind so busy that I didn't have to stop and feel. And this goes for the person that said, work life, faith, family, and work balance. Man, do you ever just sit and just stop working and just feel? Because feeling is scary. Like it is, like you're like, I'm feeling, and then you don't want to do it. And so you turn to one of these things. So here's what I'll encourage you with is you don't have to be afraid of your emotions. Emotions are indicators. They're not dictators. And we are meant to respond to them. So many times we start to feel certain things, or maybe your past starts to creep up, and all these things start to come up, and you're like, man, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. And right here, we've got Randy. He's saying one of his way that he deals with stuff is food, and my man. And then we have Wendy Kerr, food and screens. And thank you guys for being honest. I know that's hard to be real and honest, but I think that helps you. And the enemy hates it that you just did that, by the way, because you're saying, man, these are areas I struggle. And what I love is both of you are in the Circle of Hope community. And I would love for you guys to share in there also ways that you both have overcome these things, or that you're working on these things. We have Cindy right here. Cindy saying food and screens. I get it. And food and screens at the same time sometimes, or maybe, it's food, it's screens, it's work, it's all the things going into one. And we do that because for some reason it just feels good to just escape, And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to escape. I think sometimes in our life we need to escape, but if we're not doing it in a healthy way, then really what are we doing? So what I want to do now is I want to switch into I want to switch to ways that some healthy choices. So here's some things that we can do when we start to feel and we want to grab our phone, or we start to feel we want to grab that ice cream. We start to feel we want to turn to corn. We start to stress and we're overworking. We're realizing we're in this cycle of doing all these things. Here's some steps that I would love to just offer you and help you out. The first thing is mindfulness. So what is mindfulness? You hear that and you think, man, I've got to, sit and and meditate. Well, kind of, but not really. Man, a mindfulness activity for me is running. And some of y'all already turned me out like, Michael, I'm not going running. And I'm not telling you go run, but here's what I am telling you. Instead of reaching for your screen, instead of reaching for the ice cream, instead of reaching for the thing that is going to numb you out for a little bit, why don't you go outside and just go on a walk? You're like, Michael, it is 1,000 degrees outside. And don't tell me that. Okay. Like I don't care. I don't care if it's 1,000 degrees outside. Again, when you say that, go back to previously in this video, you're being led by your butt, but it's cold, but it's hot, but it's raining, and you're going to continue to do that. And then you're going to sit your butt on the couch and you're not going to do anything. And then you're going to say, man, why am I so sad and depressed? It's because you're not doing things to take care of yourself. And so engage in mindfulness activities like going on a walk, moving your body. It is a game changer. If you could just go move your body for 20 minutes today and watch what happens. Deep breathing exercises. There's a thing called square breathing where you notice I breathe in with my nose, out with my mouth, in with my nose, out with my mouth. It's supposed to be a lot deeper, but I didn't want to blow into this microphone too much and freak you out. But there's breathing exercises, or even maybe just taking a shower. You're like, man, I'm just feeling all the things and I want to grab my phone. I want to just sit and do nothing. I want to eat. I want to overwork. I want to do this stuff. Look, go get in the shower and just chill. Okay. Like I encourage you to do that. And, just like Wendy Kerr said right here, she said, just be, and she knows it. She knows it. Just be. We've got to stop doing and start being. We are human beings, not human doings. And whenever you're able to rest and you're able to just be and feel, because when you feel the emotions, you get to heal the emotions. I'm going to say that again. When you start to feel the emotions start to heal. Like, man, I'm so depressed. I'm so anxious. I'm so blah, 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 blah. And you actually can start to heal them because you're starting to feel them. But if you keep pushing them down with, alcohol, drugs, sex, overworking, food, then it's just down there. Versus, okay, I gotta feel. Oh, tears are coming. Let them come. Let them flow, and watch what happens. We are made to feel. So that's number one. Number two, develop some healthy coping strategies. And we just talked about a bunch. But my favorite is journaling. And I talk about this with all of my clients, is journaling. I'm actually making a journal that I'm going to be able to give to my clients and will be for sale for those who don't want to be a client. But it is a journal. And it's going to be a lot of things that I do, and techniques, devotions, all sorts of stuff that I'm super excited about. Will be coming out later this year. But journaling, it's literally writing what's going on in your life. It doesn't have to be cute. It doesn't have to be all the things. It doesn't have to be perfect. But man, whenever you're to write down, man, I'm feeling like crap right now, or man, I'm really wanting to eat this, or man, my husband, blah, 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 my wife, or this coworker. I used to take notes in meetings, and I would just write like about the irritation that I was feeling in those meetings because people were dumb. And so I take notes all the time. I'm always writing stuff down. And so journaling, also hobbies. What do you enjoy to do? What do you enjoy to do? What is a hobby of yours? Man, maybe you used to color. Man, start coloring again. Maybe you used to paint. Go paint. Maybe you used to, build stuff. I know that so many of you have these hobbies that we've given up for whatever reason. Man, do that again. Man, maybe it's join a pickleball league. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know what your hobbies are, but man, start a hobby. or remember what you used to do and get after it. That's a massive way to deal with it. Another thing is a support network. Who do you have around you that you can say, man, I'm struggling, or man, I'm being tempted, or man, I'm feeling addicted, or man, I'm just depressed, or man, my life sucks. Who do you have? You know, if you're looking for community, which is a big deal, and you're like, man, I want to be a part of something. I'm gonna put this link here right now, and this is to join my Circle of Hope community. Circle of Hope, man. Go to nextstepcoach.org/COH. And it is a place where, I've got a few people in there right now, and we're finding community. It's growing, it's changing. I would love for you to get in that, because you need a group of people that you can talk to and know that are there for you. Man, I went through something super hard 2 weeks ago, and I shared it with my family and the Circle of Hope community. Nobody else knows. But here's what's so cool is I was able to share it in this community, and the love and support and text and calls that I got was phenomenal. And who do you have like that? Maybe you're in a Bible study. Maybe you're in a small group. Who do you have that you can go and talk to and say, man, I'm struggling with this? Because you're going to find out that they're probably struggling with something as well, and you're going to feel so much better. And then the last thing is this, man, seek help. Reach out to people. If you feel like you're feeling so much and you're not sure what to do with it, man, go and seek professional help. And I am one of those people that you can talk to. I truly am a professional coach. I can help you in dealing with these emotions. I have been doing this for years. You're like, how have you been coaching for years? For 22 years, I was a pastor in helping coach people in their lives so they can walk in freedom. And I'm continuing to do that. And so if you are looking for help, man, reach out to me right now. Like, you can reach out to me, go to nextstepcoach.org, and you can click a link to get on my calendar. There's also a link in the description. Do not put this off any longer. You're like, Michael, how much does it cost? Who cares? Who cares how much it costs? How about you look at the things that you invest in, and you realize that those investments are actually hurting you. And if you didn't invest in those things, you could start to invest in yourself. Go to a therapist. Well, Michael, they don't take my insurance. Well, right now it doesn't matter. Again, when we look at the things that matter in our life, I've talked to so many people who they want help. But when they get on the phone and we start talking about pricing, we start talking about this stuff, they're like, man, I can't do it. And then I look at their life, I look on Instagram and they're going on a vacation to wherever. And I'm like, but you could do that, but you're not willing to invest in your life. And here's what happens. They're going to reach back out because the bottom is going to fall out. And don't wait till the bottom falls out. Start now. Reach out today. Am I the only answer out there? I'm not, but I promise you, you are going, if you would like to work with me, if you need any help, I promise you, you are going to heal and you're going to start walking in freedom. I believe that with all my heart. And if it doesn't, I'll give you all your money back. I'll give it all back to you. I tell that to everybody who works with me. And guess how many refunds I've given? Zero. And because we're seeing life change. We're seeing a connection. And so if that's you, reach out right now. Do it. And so, yeah, there you go. I mean, I hope that today, through this live stream and through this video, that man, something worked out for you. And you're watching this right now. What really stood out to you? What was one thing today during this live stream that really stood out to you? Thank you, Michael. I see you, Christian, on here. Good to see you. So good to see you. Thank you, Michael. Blessings. And my man Randy says that there's no one really local. That's why he loves the Circle of Hope group. Man, I'm so glad you're in there. Earlier, Randy said it's 2,000 degrees here. And Randy, you know me really well. You know me really well when it comes to heat and it comes to cold and it comes to rain. I don't care. Get your butt out and go and do something and get out there. Again, we're not being led by our butt. If you're on X right now, I have a lot of people on Twitter that are watching it. Man, I'm so thankful you're on here. So yeah, what else is going on with everybody? Ask some questions. Curious how you're doing. Um, some stuff I can't share that you guys put on here, and I think it's so funny. Uh, just curious how everybody's doing. You doing good today? Give me a thumbs up. Say hello. Christian Hernandez, thank you guys. And if you're watching this, we're about to shut it down. Thanks for being on here. If you could share this, that would be really, really, really cool. If you could just share the YouTube link, okay, share the YouTube link. I'm really close to hitting 2,000 subscribers. Like that is like so exciting for me. So let me see here. I'm at 1,000. I just lost a subscriber, so that was really rude. Whoever that was. I was at 1,978 and I literally just refreshed it and it went to 1,977. So that was rude. Also, what would you guys like to talk about on my next live? What would y'all like to talk about? Anything at all? I would love to do that. Again, I could just get on here and talk forever. Y'all know that? And I don't even like, it's so much fun for me. This is so much fun. So, all right. Well, you guys are great. Remember this. Your feelings and emotions are indicators, not dictators. So I will end with that. I hope you have a great day.